Always with the Black Krrsantan. You can't leave well enough alone. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Play Day. I didn't want to show you everything for too long because we're going to go through all this stuff. Yeah, I did a couple of customs, but man, some of the stuff people have sent me, you spoil me. There's just too many great artists out there. Too many people cooking up too much cool stuff. I'll be scrolling any of the socials and go, yup, I want that, I want that, I want that. To start things off, let's jump back to the last Playday where I looked at this kick-ass zombie Stormtrooper. I mean, look at that. Ames. Get it? Ames. Stormtrooper. Brains. But I could not remember who sent this to me. It was one of those things where I opened the package and then the package disappeared. Thankfully, LooperCustoms watched the last Playday and let me know, hey, I made that. I sent that to you. And I said, hey, this thing's damn awesome. I will come back around in the next Playday and give you credit. He also reminded me that he sent me this, and I need to work on this at some point. Here's a Kid Boba Fett sculpt from Georgian Toys on Instagram. Look at it. It even has the mean eyes looking up at Obi-Wan like, get the hell out of here. Looking at George's page, he used an Omega body underneath, so I'll have to get an extra one of those and put this on the paint desk, and next round, get it painted up, see what happens. But speaking of mystery items, no, not the actual Hasbro Marvel Legends Armored Spider-Man that I Gundam markered in a past Playday. I'm talking about this. This was in my pile of future Playday things, again with the package missing. I got a bad habit. I get stuff in the P.O. box, and I bring it home, and it goes in a stack, and then I get stuff that I've ordered from Target and Walmart or Amazon or whoever, and those cardboard boxes come into the room, and things happen. Look at this, the sculpted web design, and it's on the clip that goes around the arm too. Well, I call it a clip, it's actually a hoop. You pull the hand off, it goes on, you put the hand back on, and matches the aesthetic of the rest of the figure. I don't know if this is a thing in the game because I think that's the conclusion I came to, that this is the PlayStation Spider-Man armored Spider-Man look. But he had an armored look in the comics too, and this walks that fine line. I can use this anywhere. And now it has a shield for some extra protection. If you made this and sent it, or you know who made this and sent it, let me know. We'll swing back around. This one's a little bit more embarrassing because the guy who made this villain-colored Mandalorian, he handed me this at PowerCon. I remember the conversation even, but I cannot remember if I took his name down, put it in my pocket, or if I went, oh, give me your name. I'll remember it. By now, I should know that I can't remember Jack. And honestly, I forgot all about this and the toys I got at PowerCon and the next thing we'll look at because I'm just now unpacking my bag from PowerCon to get ready for vacation next week. So, there's been some months, there's been some time past. If you made this, let me know because, oh, it was, oh, look at this thing. I just love some neon green with some purple. And it's not just Boba Fett, there is some G.I.Joe parts here. There's the uniform underneath, and then there's the Major Blood arm. At first I didn't notice it. It's just like, oh, a repainted Boba Fett, that's awesome. But you get closer, and this is more like a random Mando. Yeah. Got a holster down here holding a blaster. The boots, that's what gave it away. As I was looking it up and down, oh wait, I know those boots. Purple shin guards, the green knee pads, some Star Wars-like pouches here on the side. And then up here, there's some definite Boba Fett parts. This was cut off, put over the body. It's got this extra pipe running over just to give it a more unique individual feel. Then the jetpack. Of course, it's a Mandalorian. Gotta have the jetpack. This is just cool looking. Even though I don't think it's a specific character, it'll go on the Star Wars shelf because it looks like it could have been part of Star Wars, you know, movie, show, video game, comic book. Yeah, that's where I would probably pull this design from. Again, if this was you, comment down below or message me, hit me up somewhere, and I'll give proper credit. But at this point, we all know Rebel 10 Customs, right? Some of the best soft goods in the business. I was just talking about PowerCon, and that's where Chrissy also gave me this. This is a beautiful replacement for the hard candy shell that came on the Marvel Legends Jubilee in the first place. Don't get me wrong, this looks great. It's got the sculpted folds and everything, the popped collar. It's just that, you know, if you want some action in your action figures, you got to throw some cloth at it because you can't kneel down in that other one or have an action pose with the jacket flowing out to the side, or the jacket becomes part of the action on top of freeing up spots where this may traffic cone it. She still has the sculpted sleeves on the upper arm, but this covers it, lays down right on top of it. not a problem at all. Look at the stitch work. Bringing up like a padded collar, and then across. There's the bands around the sleeves, coming across the back. There is wire in the front to give you posability, and wire around the bottom if you want to wrinkle it up a bit. Give her some folds. Basically, icing on the cake. But since PowerCon, she's also sent me something to spruce up my Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Cobb Vanth. Oh, you see it. It's the neckerchief, the bandana, whatever you want to call it. This is what came on the figure, this smaller orangey top piece. And really, when we first see Cobb Vanth, he does have this toned back scarf top thing. But then when we see him in Book of Boba Fett, he has this bigger scarf just without the armor underneath. But the red is so much more vibrant here. So at the moment, I'm using it as kind of an amalgam because I like this look hanging down. But I did grab an extra of these to try to customize an armorless Cobb Vanth because he does look good under the helmet. Problem with that though, this design work on the actual shirt, that sculpt isn't on the torso under here. That and I'd have to have sleeved forearms. And on top of all that, I can't remember if it's actually been leaked that we're getting Cobb Vanth from Book of Boba Fett. I don't know. I like this. It works. Oh, you thought we were going to get through a Playday without talking about a Black Krrsantan of some kind. Now, this is the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series publishing program, Black Krrsantan, where it's meant to be a comic book look. And I'll still go to the grave saying that in some appearances, this completely works. But not like his other appearances where he looks like he did in Book of Boba Fett. The bigger, the furrier, the more brawnier. But I always said it would need a paint job, and that's the big thing here, is a wash to the bandolier, the belts, the shoulder pads. Tone down that yellow plastic look. On top of that though, I gave the whole body a spray of my new favorite sealer, Mr. Super Clear Matte. Its name's Matt. This is Matt. Say hello, Matt. Every time I get a shiny photo reel or some mismatched plastic on something, and it's super dull. Because out of the package, the whole body had that plastic sheen to it. It was kind of shiny. But for some reason, the upper forearms were a duller sheen. So I'd look at it and go, well, this doesn't seem to match this plastic-wise. Now it does. It's still plastic. It's still going to reflect light, but not near as much as it was. I don't know, maybe I just have a thing for Wookiees. I'm working on 3 others at the moment, and only one of them's Black Krrsantan. Then here is an extremely simple custom to do. Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper. I think it's Island Ray's poncho. And then a rifle from Hasbro's G.I.Joe Classified series. I want to say it was a Cobra Trooper. This is Scar Squadron Sniper and now displays next to my Sergeant Creel. Without a wire in it, it did not want to sit down. So I do have some blue tack running up under here just to keep it down over the helmet. Because in the comics, the eyes are always just kind of peering out from under the hood. So, you know, down sniping things. Even better, no paint required, so I can actually, you know, take the hands down, repose it, stick it over here, and he's standing in line, standing around with the rest of them. Boom. But something that required a lot of paint is the Sandcrawler Customs Rancor head. Now this was an extra print he did a long time ago. I can't even remember when I showed it in a Playday, but it was just white print with a lot of steps in it. And the sanding always made me nervous. I didn't want to get down into the details or alter the shape of it. What I ended up doing, and it's probably not the smartest thing to do, is just layer the hell out of it with some brown spray paint. I would just lay it thick and just let it dry, hit it again. It took several days. And you can still see a little bit of the print work, but it's mostly smooth. After that, I painted up the teeth with a mix of yellow, washed it up, gave it some dirtiness, came in, punched in the eyes, glossed it up so it would reflect some light. But what am I going to do with this? Mostly it was for the fun of throwing paint at it, because I could just throw it, wash, and yeah, it's a Rancor. Look. But what I think I'm going to do is mount it on the wall somewhere in my Star Wars display where there isn't shelf or something else. Almost like a trophy or something. I don't know, I'm just kind of proud how it came out. Speaking of paint, I need to sling some color at this guitar I got from Shadow Moses 112 to go along with my Stranger Things Eddie. This is the Bandai America figure. It's not the greatest, but it looks pretty good, and it's nice having Eddie in plastic form. But they didn't give him a guitar! What the hell? Bandai America. I don't know what they're doing over there. Over here. Whatever. And I could have ordered this painted, but that's half the fun. I wanted to get it see what I could do with it, you know, because the sculpt is fantastic. Eddie doesn't have the most axe-friendly hands or arm articulation, but I think I can make it work. I'll get to it someday. One of my surprise P.O. Box drops recently was from Tosche Station Emporium, and it's a whole lot of stands. There's double stands, and there's blood splatter stands, and there's smaller stands, and even smaller stands. What we're looking at here is peg them on and go to town. Very unobtrusive too. They don't stick out from your pose. Forward, back, side to side. There's also these variations, and of course, this is Snake Mountain for your Masters of the Universe villains. Some Castle Grayskull for your Motu heroes. Then different shapes of that too. Smaller, in case you want, you know, less action-y poses. But that's not all. Look at these crazy stands. It took me a minute to realize what was going on. There's no paint here. These are actually printed in the colors and then inlaid into it. But a lot of the thickness has to do with this slot right here. Because there's inserts. I have this, and then the stand goes down to here. If you plug this in, yeah. And there's several layers of that too, each layer being its own individual color. You get some vintage card action to it. Cobra! But you're not locked into just one figure. There's a peg here, peg here, peg here, and then on the Cobra one, there's two over here, one, two, one up here. So you can double up on the same stand if you want to. But that's not all. Just your regular Star Wars Death Star walls on stands. Again, same concept, several pegs on here so you can do wide stance action poses or two figures on the same stand. And look at the depth. It has these, and that's actual, oh. Is that a clear piece? Yep, you can light them if you want to. You can also put them side by side for one long stand. And then if you just want to cap them, there's also these pieces that looks like more platform with more pegs on it just to have more figures out. Then there's a box that took several months to get from Mexico to my P.O. box. Jorge or JJ Dunkel sent this back in May. At the time, DHL said they would deliver to P.O. boxes, but apparently they don't. And I'm getting this all in cartoon form. That they went back and forth and finally shipped it back. He had to turn around, ship it again, and then that's when I got it. And look at this picture at the desk working away. First up, this is a bootleg from the Mexican market of a famous Big G monster. Whatever could this be? I don't have a Godzilla this big, so this is neat as hell. It looks like at some point there was a sound device of some kind, but I'm just gonna have him standing there looking awesome. He also knew I was a fan of wrestling, so he sent along some luchador masks. Now this one's awesome. It's all silver, and I'm pretty sure my son has claimed this one because it has a chin on it. So it doesn't really work with my face choice. But this one, the shiny blue and the silver, there's no chin to this one. That's right. Fear the Fwooshador. I may start doing all my reviews like this. The masked reviewer. Who could it be? There's no way of telling. I got a big noggin, so it's hard to find hats that fit, masks that fit, but this is damn perfect. It's almost like he had my head size. But then there was also this. Agent Peely in that same shiny Fwoosh blue with some robofication to it. He even painted the top of the harvesting tool and the suppressor and the grip. That is crazy. Look at that. There's happy. There's super happy. But I think I like this one. Cool, calm, collected. The Robo Squad grows. And then finally, there is this. This is the Mattel WWE Wrekkin Rampage rig. And yeah, I've already opened it. I've already been having fun with this. I've already been playing with it. I've seen these WWE vehicles before, but I've never had a big hankering to buy one. But then I got this guy, and my big pig needed a big rig, which just so happens to be named Big Pig. That's what he names his vehicles. I went to Target after getting this, and I saw this at the store, but in my brain I was like, there's no way this big pig head is gonna get inside the cab of this. But I'll be damned. Open up the door, the seats are set real low, and there's not a lot to the inside. There's a steering wheel that's fairly small. Oh, and there's a radio over there, some gauges. Still, not a lot of stuff to get in the way. Hell, there's even a cup holder between the seat. The legs in first, then kind of duck him in there. And he only has fists, so he's not grabbing the wheel. He fits. Now, he doesn't look out the windshield as much as I'd like. He's gonna need just a bit more headroom. Oh, well. Oh, getting there. He's kind of ducked under. But my buddy Dis Thunder gave me the idea that this flips up, so I can cut out a little bit more room here. Bring this down and it'll still be the top. Put a regular size Marvel Legends figure in, and that sits low too. Those WWE figures are long-legged. We need a booster seat, which is weird because you stand a regular Marvel Legends figure outside the truck, and it's definitely not as big as a semi should be, or a truck. I guess this is a crane truck, but it still works for what I want it for, and that's a truck for Razorback. This back piece is actually supposed to have a, well, no, it goes this way, doesn't it? Have a crane on it with a cage on it. You put the belt in it, all that. This'll work right here. I'm even good with the sleek, sexy silver flames on black paint job. But this may finally get me to get a 3D printer, because this does come off. It's a separate piece. You're wrecking it. So I'd like to get this all printed out with an actual Razorback head coming towards like the Arkansas football team, rushing out, and then get Big Pig for a license plate right here. I don't know plans, custom plans, but 90% of it is already done. I bought a truck for $30. The regular price is about $50, but after coupons that they're running right now, and my red card Build-A-Points or whatever it's called, yeah, 30 bucks. I couldn't pass it up. I just love it. So at the end of the day, when you can play this hard, that's a good day. I'm still working on that. Too many days. I've put all the links to the artists below. If you're interested in picking something up, spruce up some of your figures, give them a visit. Give them a click. And even if you're not, if you go, oh man, that is awesome, go over there, show them some love, some support, because good work should always be supported. It's just another fun facet of this whole crazy collecting thing, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you enjoyed this playdate, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. I keep trying to think of a voice for this Peely, and I realize it's just me. Hey, I'm Peely. I'm a banana in a tux. I'm not sure if I've ever worn a tux, actually. But now a variant action figure of me is wearing one, so close enough, right? That counts. But so much fun. Just more unique things for my display that I can look up and go, oh man, they did a great job here. That looks fantastic. It's so much nicer this way. Or I did that, you know? I made it different a little bit, and that makes me happy.